one of the main things that I would like to touch on in unison to what you are already saying is the importance of creating a sanctuary of healing. And I think that's the key thing that I want to convey to my generation and to all generations, but definitely to my generation, because we can't keep falling down this line of just repeating the same old mistakes and repeating the same old problems that our parents did, and our parents did, and their parents did, and their parents did. Somebody has to break this cycle. And I come from a lineage, like you said, of men and women who decided to break that cycle, to create an external solution for an internal problem. And that what brought forth the presence of us sitting in Israel and reestablishing a sovereign. And we're not just talking about from a religious aspect, but from a prophetic and a spiritual and historical aspect. That's why it's so important that we take this route. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that believe still that America is going to work and we can do this and we just got to stick it out. But you have 400 plus years to try to stick this thing out. I don't think nothing's changing. And I'm not talking about the geographical location. I'm talking about the social construct that we face here in America. We got to realize this is the same system that perpetuate all the worlds around the planet. This is the same system that forced themselves into World War One by sinking their own commercial ship in 1915, sitting out in the German waters. This is the same system that forced itself into World War II by knowingly that Pearl Harbor was going to get attacked because they precipitated a lot of instances, knowing that they had a land lease deal with Hawaii and that Japan, with Japan over Hawaii, knowing that Japan was coming to reclaim the monies that America owed, but they needed a reason to enter the war for their own financial purposes, for their own imperialist purposes, for their own demonic purposes, and they, uh, uh, Franklin D. Roosevelt, allowed his own country to get bombed. This is the same system that Dwight Eisenhower sent two nuclear bombs over to Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, on August 6th and August 9th. So we keep acting like this system is somehow going to change, it's going to evolve into some holistic place of solace or a place of peace and serenity. It's not going to happen. As long as we keep fooling ourselves, it's never going to happen. So we have to have an external solution to this problem. So I think that's why I wanted to start with that aspect, to really understand that, like you were speaking about the Food and Drug Administration. This is the same system that spends so-called $100 billion on the war against drugs, but at the same time has $1 trillion profit on the pharmaceutical drugs. This is the same country that over 80% of its food that's produced is genetically modified. I'm saying it's not correlating. This is a society that perpetuates death. And at some time, we got to realize if we want to live and we want to sustain ourselves, we have to create a society that perpetuates life, peace, and prosperity on this planet.
And that's the only way that people will live. And that's one of the reasons why I come as intensely as I do, consistently as I do, because there are those who want to act as if, well, we're just spirits having a human experience, so it's just the experience. You understand? And we have free will, so we can choose whatever experience, and it just doesn't matter because, when we leave, we get a chance to come again. You understand? I'm just saying, it's like the mindset that we have, so that on one hand, it's like, okay, well, don't judge. I said, well, we've been given intelligence to be able to make judgments. You understand? So, no, you have to be able to think. And what we are consuming, and in the toxicity of inebriation and intoxication and gluttony and all of the sinfulness that we're dealing with, you understand what they call the seven deadly sins and whatnot, then we don't have the opportunity to truly be in a place where we are acknowledging the presence of the intelligence of existence everywhere that there is existence itself. You understand? So that even though